to win all week, right? It's good, but if you do it back-to-back nights, how does that change things?
Yeah, I think it's always good. Again, whenever you pick up wins in this conference, it's going to be a big deal. And everyone's a quality opponent. We take nobody lightly, and I thought we played really well over the weekend.
4 of the last 5 wins, I guess, throughout the stretch. Has there been anything different on the court?
No, I just think it's a natural progression of the season. We talk about getting better every week, and we try to really just hone in on the couple plays that we can make, whether as a team or collectively or individuals. Can you make one better swing? Can you make one better serve? Can you make one better pass? And the margins are extremely thin, razor thin, and we have to be able to pick up a few of those points, because it's not just 1 point. It's rally score. It's picking up 2 points and 4 points and stuff like that. So it's been good to see the improvements they've been making, and they're really playing well together right now.
You're in that upper third of the Big Ten now, I guess. Did you expect to be here when the conference season started?
It's tough because you look at some teams that are maybe on the lower end, and you wouldn't predict that either. But that's the way the Big Ten goes, and it's really grind, and you got to be able to get after it every single day. You got to be able to squeak out some of the sets, some of the matches. We always talk about 3 sets by 2-point mentality, and that's what we needed on Friday, and obviously we had a little bit better of a match on Saturday. But yeah, the expectation always is do your best to be a great teammate. We talk about that a lot. We can't control some of the results sometimes, but we control the effort and the attitude that we have.
It feels like the net defense is maybe catching up to that floor defense. I guess with Ashlyn hitting her stride now, where do you see this going? What's the ceiling for this defense?
I think it's good. Again, every team's going to put a different challenge to you, and you got to be able to respond to that. But obviously, you put yourself in a position to win a lot of games if you keep the ball off the floor and block more balls than the other team. But I think for the most part, I'm just proud of the progression they've made, and some of the understanding that they're having of some of the nuances of the game, and they're really making good reads on their own. And when you see a team do that, you kind of let them do their thing, and we become more managers as coaches. So it's really good to see.
Even for not knowing the bracketology of it all, where do you feel like you guys are at?
Yeah, I think we're in good shape right now. You don't want to get too far ahead of yourself. 2 quality opponents this weekend on the road. It's you just want to focus on what's coming up next. And so, but in terms of position with 6 games left, I like where we're at. We're in a good spot, and but we have to continue to take care of business. We're not going to rest on it, and we got to make sure we can still come out and fire based on whoever we're playing.
Is it fair to say a win or 2 this weekend would relieve maybe some stress on?
Yeah, of course. I think it's always, again, any win that you're going to get, especially on the road, you got 2 ranked opponents that you're coming against. That looks good on anyone's resume. And so, again, we can't control everything that happens within the game, but we can control how we attack them and how our mentality is approaching them. And I like the way the team's playing right now.
You guys have played Nebraska twice. How similar or different is Penn State and Beverly?
I think they're different. I think every team's a little bit different, right? But you're going to see the same makeup, across the board, and just in terms of they've got a player at every position that can hurt you. They have good floor defense. They have good serving. They got good passing. And again, whenever you see that, it just forces you to play your best. And I was saying for a while that we were showing glimpses of playing good volleyball over the course of the season, where we had one set, a nice set against Nebraska, a nice set against Wisconsin. But we didn't sustain it, and I felt like Friday against USC we sustained it a lot longer. And looking back at the film, it was some good volleyball over 5 sets, obviously.
Again, not to count your chickens before they hatch, but you've already surpassed last year's win total. I guess is there more comfort going forward from this point?
Yeah, maybe, but I always feel like the job of a coach is be perpetually dissatisfied. I heard that a while ago, and I stick with that. We still want to get the next one, and we want to fight as hard as we can until the last ball falls of the season, and hopefully it's in our favor. But yeah, of course, you're going to feel better about it, and maybe it's from the mindset of it. You play a little bit more freely because you have a little bit of cushion, but it doesn't mean we're taking anyone lightly that comes up next. Obviously, this weekend, 2 ranked opponents. After that, we kind of got a mixed bag, but everyone's good at this time of year when they're all fighting for something.
What would a win against Penn State do just for the confidence of this team?
I think any win gives you good confidence, and we talk about never underestimating any opponent, and obviously they're very good this year, and Purdue the same, and so for us again, it's just about accepting the challenge that gets put in front of us, and we want to attack it the same as we have been these last several weeks.
talked about the serve and receive being something you see in practice and something you're easily approaching. Penn State's got a nice blocking setter. Is that something that's maybe similar to that serve and receive approach?
Yeah, again, it's every team's going to have a different challenge, like we just mentioned, and you're going to have to be able to overcome, kind of some of their strengths, and you got to be able to perform when you can. A lot of teams are going to focus in on what they think you're doing strong. Ashton just got Big Ten Freshman of the Week. I got to assume she gets a little bit more attention this next week, right? And so we have to figure out as a team, what makes sense every matchup, and it's kind of the chess piece of the game is how do we have to change, if anything, as the game goes on. And sometimes it's about execution, sometimes it's about moving a piece around and going from there. So it's good that we've been having some of these performances like Ashton's, but yeah, every team, like Penn State's going to have a good freshman as well. They're going to have a good block, a good defense, and we have to kind of always try to figure out how to execute and manage every match.
I think I asked you this like 2 or 3 games into the season, but I want to follow up now because it's a much larger sample size about how much better you guys have been on the road this year and why you think that is, and how much of that is a mentality thing versus like what goes into that.
Yeah, I think overall, just the Big Ten preps you for everything. Really, you're going to see everyone's going to have a great crowd, and it's awesome to play in. We have some experience that's played in front of it for a while. You got Rainen, who's been with us for 5 years, and Brooke's been with us for 4, and it's just been one of those things where once you have that experience, you don't get fazed by it. You've seen it before, and you're able to go out and do your thing. Yeah, we got loud matches here. I thought the crowd this last weekend was fantastic, and it was loud. It's tough to communicate, but that's where you get used to the nuance of how do you play and how do you communicate when it's loud. And no, I just think it's there. We got a good group that's used to kind of big environments, and you're just seeing that they just kind of go out there and do their thing and handle their business pretty well.